Hello, Fightful Faithful. It's a Tuesday, and we're here, and that is no mistake.
It's the NXT Sour Grapes post show for In Fact Tuesday, December 16th. And we know that was the plan from the beginning, was that you
It
and
was the
I
plan from the very beginning. That's so silly that you would even think it wouldn't be the plan.
No, of course it was the plan.
What's the
We're going to
plan?
talk about this episode of NXT. We are, of course, referring to a title change that was unplanned due to a botch that happened. I guess Leon Slater's just in NXT now, it feels like. So we're going to talk about all of it. Get in your super chats and get in your humper chats at humperchats.com. If you're like, what in the hell is a humper chat? Well, it is where my dad sends things because he knows that when you send in humper chats, you get to give us a little bit more of your money because YouTube's not taking their cut, not nearly as much as the platform that humper chat's done on. So we get to keep a little bit more of the kashish is what I'm saying. So head over to humperchats.com if you like. Some Fightful Select news. We did get some information about what happened with that spot. Sean's got the details for you on Fightful Select, but we don't do like a ton of NXT news, but Sean was able to find out a little bit more of that one on the scoop side. So you can head over and find out what's going on with that. We'll certainly talk about it a little bit more on this show as well. Our friends at WrestleVotes were on that very quickly too, but so much going on FightfulSelect.com. Today we had stories about Stephen Borden, the son of Sting, El Hijo de Sting, as you like to call him, which is accurate, who looks so freakishly like his dad that whenever we do a graphic about it, I'm like, that's just a time traveled Sting. But very well received. Very, very well received. His debut at AEW, his performances on the indies. There's a prevailing belief that he will be signed to AEW if he's not already, based on the information we got. Sean got Tony Khan's reaction, just like verbatim, on FightfulSelect.com for you back there. Plenty more going on, but you know, we got some pretty up-to-date information on what happened today on this episode of NXT specifically. We also had some information on the vignettes that were done by Rob Fee for Maxine and Natalia. He also did those Wyatt 6 vignettes when they first got introduced. He seems to have quite the eye for how to package these things to make them extremely compelling. What happens after that? What can we say? But busy day, busy times on FightfulSelect.com. Also, voting privileges for the Fightful Awards. If you wanted to be a part of early voting, you could have headed over there. You could still vote over there, which is a fun and fantastic way to participate in Fightful. And we're running out of sponsorship spots. I did get an exciting message earlier today from yet another SGS member, our favorite Lieutenant Colonel photo. So I am so excited about the Fightful Awards this year and so thankful for the support that we're getting. So if you are interested, the sooner you can be interested, the better it's going to be for you because we are running out of categories. But you can always just sponsor the show overall as well. But my, oh my, that was a lot of plugs up front. And Alex, oopsie daisy. We had a little bit of an oopsie daisy to start the show. I did also because we were behind the paywall for Cena's last match and there was so much NXT talent on it. If there was anything like that you wanted to cover about it, I'll throw it back over to you.
Well, listen, if you guys did not hear our review of the Saturday night's exhibition event, or I guess Saturday night's main exhibition, because you get to keep the SNME or whatever it is. Obafemi, nothing Cody Rhodes could do to Obafemi hurt him, and he was all set to win, and then Drew McIntyre shenanigans it up, and Obafemi chokeslammed Drew McIntyre, so we're kind of hoping for a Drew McIntyre and Obafemi furthering of a beef, maybe during the Royal Rumble, that leads to Obafemi's first match in WWE proper being beating Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, because that's a pretty great way to start off your career. So we're hoping for that. So Ruka beat Bayley. They really put her over a lot in the match. After the match on commentary, she's it looks like they want her up there now, which is weird for the thing they were building with Zarya for literally months and then never pulled the trigger on. So now they might not actually get around to doing it, or if they do it, it'll feel really rushed. But #oops NXT. And then Javon Evans and Leon Slater had just about the most competitive 6.5-minute tag match you'll ever see between them and Dragon Styles. So there you go.
Can't believe that we were so generous to give you that analysis so free when you could have seen it on Saturday, because we were the main event. This John Cena fella has nothing on us. No, we did talk about it extensively, though. I will say this. There's been a prevailing complaint, I think, with WWE on the whole, that this was a rather unproductive year for WWE as far as moving people that aren't named Braun Breaker along.
Yeah.
And I think there were a lot of people who felt like in NXT, the men's division was very thin. But I will say the ones that they've taken care of, in a sense, are in a really good position and ready to go. Now, that was also true. I felt like with Carmelo Hayes is the most obvious example. I don't think Grayson Waller would have benefited more from staying around. It seemed like they had big plans for him when he first got called up. So, is NXT doing its job on that front? I think so. Obviously, the women's division kind of speaks for itself since they called 4 women up at the same time, right? So I will say, when we talk about all 3 brands, I feel like NXT's probably had the most productive year.
Yeah.
I won't say it's because the booking's been so great that it's made these stars. It's been a very up and down year in that sense, actually. But I think it's been the most productive use of talent, which is an odd thing to say in a sense. But that also just shows you where the main roster's been at, which has not been great.
Yeah. When last we left our heroes, Javon Evans got stopped from beating Obafemi for the world title by Ricky St. Starks. And so now, after that, Javon Evans had a very busy weekend. He beat The Miz on Friday. He had that very short and also very, very sweet tag team match on Saturday. Monday, he set up a match between him and Masked Pete Dunne for next week. And now he's back, and it is so fun because none of that was really brought up. None of the stuff that happened to him last Tuesday seemed to affect him at all on Friday, Saturday, or Monday. But now it's as though that never happened. And he is waiting in the parking lot. I'm going to catch Ricky Saints when he shows up. And Ava's like, Javon, please, I keep trying to tell you, will you please come inside so we can talk about this? No, he cost me the title. I had Oba beat, and now I'm not the champion because of Ricky Saints. I'm here waiting for him. He says, Javon, just will you? I have to go inside. The women's North American title match is about to start, and somehow I don't. There's a crazy swerve we have booked, maybe. I don't know. So I have to be there for it when it happens. And he's like, so please come inside. He says, yeah, well, I'm not gonna. And so Javon, I know, is young, but I didn't realize he was my 8-year-old daughter. We're like, I need you to get up and put on your snow pants so I can take you to school. Yeah, but I'm not gonna. It was great. And so here's the thing with Ava. I know she's also young, but you do have authority here. Javon, if you don't get your butt inside this building in 5 seconds, you're suspended for next week without pay. Okay, fine. Like, just do it. And then, like, he's gonna, he's not gonna call your bluff. He's actually gonna do it because he needs to be here next week so he can beat up Ricky Saints. Like, you can actually throw your weight around, because there's so many times where he's like, no, I make the matches around here. How dare you? And then the next week she's like, yeah, do whatever you want. I don't care. If she was consistently one or the other, it might be possible, but this one felt like they just didn't want her to actually do anything. So Javon Evans is going to wait outside until Leon Slater tells him to come inside and be in his corner for the main event. And then he isn't, because of things that happened to him later.
Because of things that happened to him later. Yeah. The other thing with Javon is, like, this is kind of the problem when they get so single tracked. Is, like, one thing that I've really loved about the young OG character with Javon has been, like, he's been very clever despite being very young, like, in the way that he operates. And today he felt reactionary and kind of like a pissy little baby. Which, like, I appreciate what they were going for. Like, the target was the NXT championship is the most prized possession around here. You should be pissed that someone stopped you from winning it. I agree on the premise 100%. And I actually really, really like that. But, like, the Javon Evans that we know so far has been craftier, not so, like, hot-tempered, passionate without, like, letting that cloud his judgment in a lot of ways. And I just kind of, like, I really like that about him. So certainly this is not defining the rest of his career, this one segment, but, like, he doesn't feel like guy that hangs out in the parking lot to me so far. No, and so really. I don't want to see that become a prevailing trait. This was one segment. But, like, I really appreciated that he's so young and clever. So I just don't want them to lose that about him, because I like that. Ava just, man, whatever way the wind is blowing is who she feels like being as a GM that day. And that's unfair to her as a performer, because what it is just actually very poorly written. Like, it's so, I can't even call it inconsistent, because it's split. Like, it's not like she acts one way for 4 weeks in a row, but then she does something like this. It's like 1 week she's this, 1 week she's that.
She was literally two different people in this episode.
Yeah, yes. It's even within the same episode. So I wish they would iron that out. I don't know what Brian Alvarez did to them that they insist on continuing to do this, because it seems like they just want to ratchet up his blood pressure.
It's personal. This time it's personal.
It's personal with Brian Alvarez. But I think his criticism is quite valid in that sense. Like, I agree with it. And I think he's very brave for continuing to put it on the internet.
Yes. Okay. So people are asking for puns, and I think we'll probably do Christmas next week since it's the 23rd.
Well, yes.
So people are oops puns. Is that a possibility? Is there things that we could say oops puns? Things that are oopses? I don't know.
Could we do, like, pop music puns? Because, like, an oops I did it again situation, like a.
Well, people are saying stimulants. How about things that are caffeinated? Things that are caffeinated or other recreational things, but I reserve the right to not read those if you send them in, and they're too not veiled. Okay? Stimulant puns and also things that are caffeinated in honor of our Oops North American Women's Champion, Thea Hale.
Adderall in. Huh?
There you go. Adderall in sounds
An example that is an acceptable example for us to read on air would be Adderall in.
Yeah, there you go. So the match that happens that we have to talk about for most of the show tonight probably starts out with Thea and Blake, and it was over in 7 minutes. And I figured it would probably like an 11-minute match, maybe a shade over 10 minutes. So when you can figure out how long the matches are and you know how they lay them out, the stuff that happens in the first 7 minutes of a 12-minute match doesn't matter. So, so when this took place, I was not expecting there to be a finish, so I had to go back and watch it. Because I was like, what? I was sitting there watching it, but I wasn't paying attention to it. The match is fine and good. It was a nice to see Thea Hale really wrestle again, because the stuff she was doing in the Chelsea Green and Joe Hendry thing wasn't really wrestling. She was doing gimmicky stuff, but I know she's a real wrestler. So getting to watch that was nice. And Blake was playing her part too. This was fine. So Thea Hale was doing a babyface comeback, and her babyface comeback, like her 5 moves of doom, ends with, instead of a 5-knuckle shuffle, ends with her grabbing the top rope and shaking it like the Ultimate Warrior, and then doing like a little springboard rope assisted coffin drop.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's what she does in matches like this. It's her signature babyface comeback 5 moves of doom. And when she landed it flush. Yeah. And so it knocked the wind out of Blake Monroe. And the referee drops down and does 1, 2, 3. Like you could, on the third one, he was trying to stop his hand because he knows that's not the finish, because Blake Monroe is supposed to retain. So he hits it lightly. And I mean, a good half a 1,000 later, Blake kind of gets the shoulder up. And he stands up and calls for the bell, but the bell doesn't happen because it's not supposed to be the finish. And I don't think the scorekeeper was even holding the little hammer that rings the bell yet, because they still had 3.5 more minutes. And then they start playing music to signify the winner. And the music they play is Blake Monroe's, because that's queued up as the next music cue. And for those of you who don't know, when you're backstage and you actually got everything happen, you don't get to pick what's next. It's all queued up in a row. You would have to then go into a separate program. All you do is go sound cue 32, go. Sound cue 33, stand by. So sound cue 32 in this is Blake Monroe's music. And the person manning the soundboard was just go. And it wasn't Thea Hale's music because she wasn't supposed to win. So he calls for the bell. They play Blake Monroe's music, then they stop it. Then somebody goes into a file and finds Thea Hale's music and plays that. Thea is going, what's going on? I won. That's crazy. The referee is like, please ring the bell. You have to ring the bell. I don't know what we're going to do here. I messed up, or somebody did, but we got to ring the bell. They're playing her music finally. And Blake's like, what happened? And so all of this, coupled with how short the match was, signified to me like this was a grand mistake. Everyone, the thing that I am both happy for and saddened for Thea Hale, because she won a title, but she wasn't supposed to. She won her first title. It's not like it's somebody who now becomes a 4-time North American Women's Champion or something. You know what I mean? It's not The Miz getting another one with the IC title.
Right.
This is her first ever taste of gold in NXT, and it wasn't supposed to happen.
And it happened by
They did
accident.
not say, congratulations, Thea. On Tuesday, we're putting the belt on you. She doesn't get to have that moment. It just happens, and credit to her, she reacted honestly in the moment, but it's one of those things where it's nice, but the next order of business backstage as they are scrambling, you can tell. How the hell do we get it off of her and back onto Blake without making it seem like we're just scrambling to get it off of her and back onto Blake? And that can't feel great. While you're watching, Shawn Michaels say, hey, congrats, I got to go and have 7 meetings about what we're going to do on the tapings next week because you're not supposed to be champ right now.
And Ava ain't going to him. She doesn't care.
Ava doesn't care, and she's frankly not involved in them. It was just a thing where the referee counted 3 because Blake didn't get her shoulder up in time. There are so many times where I've seen a referee not count 3 and then do the fake up. There's some daylight under the shoulder there. And we all go, come on, ref. But we know that he can't call it a 3 because they're not supposed to be a title change right now. But his hand hit the canvas, and he thought in the moment, the best thing I can do right now is call it as a shoot and let them figure it out later. Blake did not kick out. His hand hit the ground because she did not kick out. And they decided in that moment the best thing to do was put the title on Thea Hale for a week, maybe 2.
So there's going to be so many people talking about whose fault was it, and it doesn't necessarily matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything.
It doesn't change anything, and usually when this happens, it's a series of miscommunications or somebody getting shoe injured or whatever, right? Someone couldn't hear something because the crowd was loud. So honestly, I know it kind of sucks for product implications, but there's a part of me that really likes it when stuff like this happens because it's live theater, folks. And it forces people to get creative. Now, when it happens like this, to your point, when it's someone's first real championship, in a major promotion, and the whole creative around it is now supposed to be, this was congratulations, this was a mistake, that's tough. That's not fun. I do agree with you that she was kind of the perfect person to handle it because of what her character is.
Yes.
She handled it very authentically in the moment, and we'll talk about what happens later in the episode with this as well. But the bigger thing is, and there's more about this on Fightful Select, is I guess the upcoming creative for the next few weeks was supposed to be based on the fact that she doesn't have a title. And I was like, well, shit, that could mean anything. That could mean the Wren QCC is trying to give her a sense of purpose again, and she's getting recruited there, or what. That could have so many implications down the line. So I feel for the performers in that situation because, we all sit here and act like refs have all this time to make this decision and choose to make the wrong one. It's should my hand do this or this? Like this or this? And
I mean, there are refs who, when they know they're counting 2, 2.5, they do the scoop. They do and so they really can't count 3. They just, as they're coming down, they know they're doing the scoop. And so even if they had to, they would be scoop. Oh, I guess we're doing 3. They can't do that. This guy, he does a stop. He stops himself. And you could tell he couldn't stop himself in time because she didn't get her shoulder up. It's weird. It is one of those perfect confluence of events.
Yes.
If Thea doesn't hit flush that senton, knock the wind out of Blake gets her shoulder up in time, no problem, and we're fine. If the ref decides in that moment, no, I think I saw her shoulder up, they just finish out the match and Blake is still your champion. there's a whole bunch of stuff that just, this is what it is now. And I hope what they run with this is that Thea gets to be the champ until New Year's Evil.
I hope so too.
I hope that's what they do with this, is that they don't do a panic, put it back on Blake thing next week during the double taping. They allow it, because they set up something later in a backstage of that it looks like Jordynne Grace is getting involved in this as well. So maybe that's a triple threat, because they love making things into triple threats.
This one's at least a little bit more warranted.
This one feels more organically triple thready.
Well, we have to. Yeah, it's also kind of to your point too, like it was so nice to get to see her just wrestle again. We got to see it a couple weeks ago too, but like the match was going pretty good to that point. So it's kind of a bummer, because I was enjoying the match that it was. The other thing is, when this happens on a product that has, and this is just the way they operate, and you can't plan for these things, but like this product constantly does like knee-jerk title changes, title shots, whatever. So when you have something like that happen for realsies, like it's kind of like, oh, another one of these, like wacky NXT. And I know this one was a shoot, like this actually happened. But it certainly was trickier. It certainly was trickier for that, because it doesn't even feel like it has the like, oh, value to it, because it's like we just saw Tatum Paxley win and lose in 2 minutes. Like so it doesn't even kind of have the like, oh well, there it goes kind of thing to it. But everybody's gonna be just fine. I am intrigued to see if they lead to a triple threat at New Year's Evil, because I would actually really like to see that pivot, because there's so much that's been invested in Jordynne and Blake as a previous program, right? Like not one that I loved, but they've already built the animosity between the two of them. So let's see what we can do with this extra ingredient.
Yeah. Orion Ben says, congrats to Thea, but leave it to hashtag LOL NXT. It's a hashtag oops NXT, what somebody did. I like that one too. Let's see here.
That was a good one.
Mike Shutt saying, hi SGS, can't wait to get in this very normal of NXT where nothing went wrong.
Of course not.
And then we got Jim Dukers, big Jim Dukers says, Botch, sure, but I'll take the surprise on a Fed show. Sorry to let you down, Alex. Like, listen, it's a surprise, but it's not like, hey, we booked a complete shock title change, because we had the idea to put the title on Thea Hale as a complete shock title change. And that's going to lead to Mariah, sorry, I'm never going to stop doing that. Blake losing her mind, Jordynne Grace being jealous, and a triple threat at New Year's Evil, because we had the thought. If they had done that, I'd be right there with Big Jim. But this only happened, the really cool surprise only happened because a bunch of things went wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is like whatever people call wrestling a soap opera, which is not totally far off. I'm always like, no, it's theater though, because of this part of it. Because live crowds will suddenly turn out a performer sometime, like that aspect of it. So from the outside perspective, I'm always fascinated to see like, okay, what's the next chess move? Because your whole board just got rearranged, right?
Yep.
Like I'm fascinated by it. I just feel for Thea, and to an extent Blake too, because she's like, she got off to kind of a weird start. She finally wins gold, and then this happens. Like, oh man, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Hey, my dad sent in a chat with some phenomenal pun work. So
okay, please.
Said, oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the scoops are all on Fightful. And since we're waiting for Kringle, Merry Christmas to JW Pringle.
Nice. Very good.
See where I get it from?
And JW Pringle says, amazing Alex, Sister Killer Kate, powerful Papa Paul, Elizabeth, and all the SGS on the first day of Christmas. John Cena gave to me. One, you can't see me. Very good.
I mean, honestly, I'd take that over a partridge in a pear tree. Don't give me a bird responsibility. I'll
Do you know
take
how
it.
many? Do you know how many birds that you get that person gets gifted in a week?
How many?
23 birds.
That's way too many unanticipated birds, Alex.
That's too many birds. Think of all the cleanup. A few years ago, I did a special Sour Graps episode where I dissected 12 Days of Christmas. It's still available. You can look it up on Fightful. There's a 12 Days of Christmas dissection.
I'm gonna.
It's very fun. I had a lot of fun with it. But it's what once you realize how many birds are being given to this person, it just feels like the person has a bird fetish. The person has a bird fetish. I mean, you know what I mean? It feels like your true love doesn't really love you, but just wants to bring 23 birds into the bedroom. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a bit much.
Yeah, and like, is it in, what is it, an atrium? Well, it has birds in it. A topiary is plants, right? Whatever the bird one is.
It's a aviary.
An aviary. Okay, I got them confused. Even that, it's like French hens don't belong in the same environment as turtle doves.
No. Also, 4 calling birds. Most birds call. Most birds, they make sounds.
They're pretty chatty. That's their whole
what
thing.
What kind of birds are they? Because it's a big difference between like a sparrow and a macaw. You know what I mean?
And
like
Alex, there were geese laying. That means not only are there 23 birds, there's going to be more birds on the way.
More birds. Also, geese need water. Like
geese need water in their assholes.
And then swans, geese, and then swans in back-to-back days. A total number of 13 of them, and that doesn't account for all of the new hatchlings coming out of the geese.
It's way too many birds to give to somebody.
It's too many birds.
Unless they registered for all those birds, I don't think so. And even like 11 pipers piping, like,
yeah.
Are they Rowdy Piper? Rowdy? That would be sick if it was just like a bunch of them with like coconuts just like cracked over their heads and like, I'm all out of bubble. 11 pipers piping and they're Roddy Piper and they're all different versions of him, like in movies, in wrestling, on It's Always Sunny. Now I'm in. But if it's just guys playing the pipe.
I mean, the thing is that 8 maids of milking, it implies cows, but it doesn't directly say cows. So it's possible the maids are trying to milk the birds, and birds don't have mammary glands. So it's a real problem for the maids.
Now, this is an interesting one because it's like if I have cows and you sent maids to milk them, it's like, well, now you've taken an errand off of my list.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Tasks away from me, which is nice.
But if it's not that exact situation, I don't want it.
Right.
5 golden rings? Perfect.
Yeah. I mean,
no complaints
like jewelry for Christmas. That's wonderful.
And even if you don't like it, you can give away 4 golden rings and make some money. You know what I mean? Keep one for yourself. Anyway.
All right. Anyway.
We've covered the important stuff. Wait, we have a super chat about this.
Okay.
Actually, I've read all the gifts in the 12 Days of Christmas are birds. Can't remember where I saw that.
Yeah, because pipers are a kind of bird. I don't know what a drummer would be. A ladybird?
Oh,
I don't know. A lord bird? I don't know. I've seen it too, but I don't subscribe to the same conspiracy theory about birds. Okay.
I don't think they leap either. So lords are leaping. I'm like, I don't think so.
No, most birds either fly or they're flightless.
Jeremiah John saying, when Tony Storm cursed Mariah, she wasn't playing around. Also, Mick Foley is awesome. Screw Paula Beck. Well, we'll let everybody feel how they want about the very last one on that. But Mick Foley definitely is awesome just for like a myriad of reasons.
He's very awesome. He's an awesome guy.
I don't know about Like, I feel like Blake Monroe is obviously destined for huge things, but it's felt so weird so far.
Yeah,
And I thought we were getting somewhere cool with like the split promo, and then this
they
happens. Like,
kind of dropped that. But it was very funny. She shows up on her first day. I am the next NXT Women's World Champion. I'll never have a match for that title, and instead, I will be the NXT Mid Card Women's Champion for about 6 weeks, and then something will go wrong with a regular TV match, and now we don't know.
I remember messaging you being like, well, here go the NXT Shock title or like quick title reigns because JC Jane's about to get neutered, and like, nope, they didn't do that.
No, they did not. They did not. Matthew Hooks saying, love the SGS family. My new VO demo, voiceover demo, should be ready soon. So it's a personal victory. We love personal victories. Happy holidays to all, and please take care of yourselves. SGS for life. Yeah. Not going to get too into the weeds about this because that's a different show in the mornings. But also because we talk for too long anyway. But we have a lot of members of the SGS who are Australia based, and I just wanted to say that we are here with you. I know a lot of people who were nowhere near what took place, that horrible event on Bondi Beach, but still feel like PTSD because it's such a rare thing in Australia. And it's weird because at the same time that was happening, another school shooting was happening here, and we just go, yeah, that's a terrible thing that happens to us all the time. So it is, we feel your pain and wish that the terrible thing that happened to you happens as rarely to you, happens rarely to us as it does to you. But yeah, all of our thoughts and prayers are with the people in Sydney.
And just to I think our Jewish viewers too,
sure.
the anti-Semitism is never ever really reported with the same weight as some other groups that are consistently under attack. And I did some of my own research on this because of after the Tree of Life shooting, I was like, I need to educate myself more on this. And it is very, very alarming how underreported that is. So it is not lost on me that Jewish people are just in their entire history constantly persecuted. And our thoughts are just with you if you're feeling scared and nervous at this time too. Like, that's a scary thing. Hanukkah just started. So just... we are always of the belief that you get to be who you are as long as you're not an asshole around here. And we hope that you feel safe and welcome here always, as is a hallmark of the SGS. Yes.
True. Remember how there's a dark void room where the culling likes to hang out, sit on stools?
I do.
Presented by Progressive, they walk into the room where there are 3 stools, and there's a doll that looks like Nico Vance sitting on his stool, and he's like, "Where did this come from?" And then he's like, "I know exactly where it came from. Come on!" And they all leave. And then later, it's like, "No, I can't find Nico anywhere." She's on the phone with Sean Spears, and then she walks into her dressing room. In her locker is the Sean Spears figure, and says, "Oh no, Sean, I know what happened to him. It's Thea. No, sorry, not Thea. It's Tatum." Like, what did Tatum do to Nico Vance, who outweighs her by 100 pounds? What did she do to him? The idea that it was just like, oh, I know what it was. Thea, why do I keep doing that tonight? Tatum Paxley murdered him. But it's fine. Don't worry about it, Sean. I'm sure you're not next. Anyway, Lola Vice, I'm picking a fight with you, and we're going to have a match next week for some reason.
Oh man.
Oh boy, that's hilarious.
I feel like their hang spot is like used to be a Judgment Day hang spot, but it's where they would hang out and Carlito took all the stuff with him when he was released. I'm like, man, at least Judgment Day had they had video games and all sorts of stuff back there. This is just so vacant.
Yeah.
I really like the doll thing. I think it's fun. And I hope she keeps doing it. And I don't mean to wish ill upon anybody, but I kind of hope she got to Nico Vance. I hope she's on a revenge tour.
Wow.
I want to see Crazy Taters.
All right.
I want to see it.
Okay.
Sorry, Sean Spears. I'm rooting for your demise next.
Okay. Good. Ethan Page comes to the ring, and I have a back so strong that I can carry the entire industry, but my back was almost broken by a spine buster from Tony D'Angelo. So come on out here, Tony D'Angelo. And I'm like, yeah, let's see Tony D'Angelo cut a promo because I'm really excited about that. Gosh, feels like, I don't know, 11 days since he showed up or whatever it is, and it's been too long. Let's get some promo, some mic time for old Tony D. I got to see what this new character is all about. And I know that after appearing to be coming after Javon Evans and or Obafemi on Deadline, that he changed his tactic and went after Ethan Page on the following episode of NXT, which was just one short week ago. So I know for a fact that he will not somehow switch back to targeting Obafemi by the end of the show, because that would be utter nonsense. And certainly he will come out and confront Ethan Page here, and we will get right into the meat of things. And no, wait, it's Stax and Ariana Venti. And they come down and they're just obnoxious. And they say that we would like to face you and Chelsea Green, who is not here yet for some reason. And we want to take you on for your mixed tag championships. And Ethan Page is like, I don't want to do that. And then Moose shows up, and really somebody just did Mad Libs for this entire episode. And Moose shows up and he walks up to Stax, who he doesn't like because Stax has been doing mean things in TNA. And he says, somebody's going to take you out, but it's not going to be me because I am laser focused on Ethan Page. And Ethan Page, as soon as Moose got into the ring, started walking up to Stax. He was like, well, this does not concern me. And he is halfway out of the ring when Moose says, I want the NXT North American title, because I want to bring a title from NXT back to TNA the way so many NXTers come to TNA and bring titles back here. I want to be that, so I'm going to come after you because I already had a match with Obafemi and my back still hurts. So I want your title, Ethan Page. And Ethan, I already talked to Santino and Ava, and they gifted me a match at the end of the year award show, which is not the NXT next week, but the one after that. That's the one. So 2 weeks from now, Moose is going to lose to Ethan Page on a taped episode of NXT. There you go.
This isn't a paid chat, but it's the most important one from Benjamin Thomas, who says, love your Christmas sweaters. Thank you. Mm-hmm. We're very committed to the holidays. Nobody more than Alex, but myself as well. Mm-mm. When Moose came out, I was like, all right. Like, no offense to him, but it just kind of feels like an inter-promotional title shot for title shot's sake. Like, it didn't feel...
It feels like TNA has already put all of their episodes in the can, and they've got nothing to do between now and the AMC premiere. That's what it feels like. But yeah,
that's fair. I think it'll be just fine, but it kind of feels out of nowhere because it is. Like, I was like, did they interact before? Or like, I was trying to trace in my mind where these seeds got planted, and there was nothing that I could recall because did Moose do anything outside of the Obafemi program? He had something else, I feel like.
No, it was him and sorry. It was him and Oba and Trick Williams versus 3 out of 4 members of Dork State.
That's right. Okay. So there's been nothing with Ethan or the North American title since. So I was just kind of surprised that this is what they were going for. But okay. Ethan saying like calling John Cena a quitter basically made me laugh a great deal. I appreciated that. And the stuff he does when Chelsea is there later, he can just switch into comedy mode very quickly, and I appreciate that. This Ariana and Stack situation, I guess I just don't know because they came out to say they're going after the AAA mixed tag belts that Chelsea and Ethan have. Which is fine. But like, is stuff gonna happen in AAA? Like, is this happening on NXT TV? Because
probably
now they're like, are AAA gonna have mixed tag contenders for these? Because I don't want that either. Like, I've actually really liked the presentation of AAA under the WWE umbrella so far for the most part. Shout out to having a canvas without 900 logos on it and things of that nature and being a wrestling focused product. But I don't want them to just like gut the mixed tag division from AAA. That's not great. Like, I want their talent to be prominently featured in that. So I don't know. It's a weird little world. I learn a lot from Luis. He's like, people defend their titles once every 6 years and whatever. So I will say I very much appreciate Ethan and Chelsea having an Edge and Christian ripoff shirt. I don't know if you saw that, but no. they did know we're the Canadian pairing that you need to worry about kind of thing. So I very much appreciated that callback. But yeah, this segment was more confusing than anything because it felt like they were starting 2 programs out of nowhere for belts that aren't on the show or with talent that aren't on the show. And I just feel like Ethan could elevate the young talent that are there. No offense to Moose, but like, I don't know what he gets out of likely losing a North American title shot in NXT. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean, we've heard that unlike with NXT talent who go to TNA and do matches, the TNA talent who come to NXT get paid. So maybe he just wanted an extra. It's the holidays. He
I love it. Get the bag, Moose. No, I'm here for that. I take
you know how much those giant bows cost that you put on a new Lexus? I mean, you got to figure out a way to help out with the. Because I mean, that's what I'm assuming he's buying for his lady. So
I take back everything I said. Get paid. I love it. Everybody, the mixed tag match, Ariana and Stacks get paid. Yeah. Just everybody get paid for the holidays.
Javon Evans is still waiting outside for Ricky to show up, and Leon Slater comes out, and Leon Slater, he's like, "Hey man, listen, Ricky's gonna be here when Ricky gets here." But when he gets here, you're not doing it. Like, please come in and help me get ready for my big number 1 contenders match tonight. And he says, man, you please come inside. It's cold out here at this time of year. He was in the mid-60s. In Orlando today.
Yeah, but you talk Floridians, they actually think that's 20 degrees.
Leon Slater grew up in the UK.
That's a fair point.
Like
maybe he just wanted to sing the song. Baby Javon, it's cold outside. He's very bouncy. He could pull a muscle if it gets too cold. And he's out there being bouncy.
Yeah, it's possible. But he says, hey, please come inside, and I want you to be with me for my big match. And that's what gets Javon to come into the building. And the big match isn't for another hour and 20 minutes. And in the meantime, an SUV shows up with a whole bunch of security, and that's Ricky. Like if Javon had said, like, listen, your match isn't for another hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to stay out here for 5 more minutes, and then I'll come inside. If he had just done that, he would have seen Ricky. Now, there would have been a whole bunch of security dudes he'd have to mess with, but he would have seen Ricky. So
I feel like inside the building is such a lawless land. He doesn't need to wait to jump Ricky.
It's true. It's true. So, Kate.
Yes.
OTM has been presented as a brand. Oh, hold on, before we move too far. Spidey boy Eli says it won't happen, but I love the idea of someone named Moose holding a Canadian flag designed belt. That would be very funny.
That's a very good point.
So they've been presenting OTM as like they ran through a couple of teams. They seem like they could be real players in the tag division. Like they're saying these guys are next up. And Hank and Tank won the titles at Stand and Deliver, and then were booked to do nothing, and they lost the tag. They got pinned in a tag match against Dork State, and then Dork State didn't actually come after the titles until 4 months later, and then when they did, they immediately took them off of Hank and Tank. And then Hank and Tank were presented like losers, and then Hank and Tank went to Japan, and then Hank and Tank just came right back. So it feels to me like the thing you would want to do with this match is to present Hank and Tank like the old Hank and Tank, but have OTM pull out the victory over them, thus really announcing their presence at the top of the tag division. Because if, let's say, you had the same match, but Hank and Tank won, then it would signify that OTM is very good, but not good enough to hang with the big boys of the tag division, which would mean that all of the time you've spent on television telling us how impressive they are would have been a lie. So guess which one they went with? I love Hank and Tank. I think Tank and Tank should be at the top of the division, but you've spent all of this time talking about how great OTM is, having them squash Leafy Green and ponytail mustache. Like you've done the work to make OTM into really and they had a really good match. It's probably the best match they've ever had against Hank and Tank. So Hank and Tank just beat him clean. Whereas if you have the bad guys cheat in an underhanded way, you can extend this feud as a number 1 contenders feud and end up probably, let's be real, doing a Dork State versus Hank and Tank versus OTM match out of it. If OTM wins underhanded in the first match, and then there's a no contest in the second match. But we all know Hank and Tank is good enough to be champs because we've already seen it. And so that's how you get to the triple threat. Tornado tag, please, rules. Thank you very much.
Yes.
But instead, you just had OTM lose. And guess what? I don't think OTM is done being a team at the top of the division, even though they lost to another team at the top of the division clean. I just don't think so. I think they're probably going to get a title shot out of a loss.
This might have been my favorite OTM match that I've seen in general from them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also the way that this was presented from the perspective of, we did not have several vignettes in Hank Tank's absence about them winning titles over there. If the story was presented as I guess more vividly, because they didn't mention it, certainly. But if the story was presented more vividly as they were champions here, they went to Japan, they're champions there, they're unstoppable. and now they're going to come out and face OTM. That's different than what we were shown on television tonight. So I feel like they did the one vignette, and I just feel like they could have built something out there of like, these guys are double champions, living or have, been champions twice this year in two different promotions in two different countries. They're an unstoppable force. They kind of made them successful little goofballs, which is fine. But OTM doesn't lose to successful little goofballs. Like, that's not how that goes. So needed something to set that up more properly. I'm sure OTM will backstage attack their way into a triple threat or something of the like. But it better be under tornado tag rules, because those are the appropriate rules to have.
Yes, for sure. And I thought this was sloppy at times, but they're 4 big bruisers who are going to smash
sloppy in the way that I like.
And,
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's just Hank and Tank probably facing Dork State at New Year's Evil, maybe. I guess.
Yeah, we'll talk more about them in a little bit, because I just want them. I want them to pick a configuration and a personality on the whole. Like, this just isn't working, but we can talk about that later.
So, I have this in the back with Jacob Marley, aka Jasper Troy, and he's like, I should have destroyed Ricky and Javon when I had the chance. Well, instead of that, there's a new men's speed tournament starting next week. Like, whoever wins that, I'm going to destroy them. And Ava just does one of her old. And it's just okay. So the whole thing with the men's speed champion thing is that you're the speed champion, and the way it used to be was that if you were the speed champion, you never got to show your belt on television, but you were on television doing other stuff for the most part. And then also, after the tournament was over and they had a number 1 contender, you would face that person on a 5-minute Twitter video. Now, Jasper Troy,
we're not just rolling through. You would face them on a 5-minute Twitter video, because it's extremely accurate and very funny.
True. But Jasper Troy now that he's the speed champion, he only gets to wrestle when. Sorry about that. He only gets to wrestle when. There's a number 1 contender, and they only have a number 1 contender after they have a tournament. And it's not like immediately after the title match they start the tournament the next week, because he became champion a month ago and hasn't wrestled since, and won't wrestle again until they're done with the tournament. So congratulations, here's your speed title. You get to wrestle on television once every 6 to 9 weeks. And what Jasper Troy desperately needs is TV reps. So this is, I thought, well, he's a natural guy to be the guy who has the speed title, because every week you put another dude in the ring with him and he has a squash match while defending a title. But then I forgot, somehow WWE doesn't think you can just have an open challenge for the speed belt. It has to come after a tournament. And they don't do those tournaments very often. So the speed champion just sits around and does nothing.
Alex, it's honestly stuff like this that makes me question, like, Shawn Michaels as a booker. And he's...
Well, I mean, this and other things.
But like, this being on the list, it's like, he's The booking is so flawed. I wouldn't even want him to be my bookie. Like, I know they're not
Oh,
related, but just the
no, they're
wording being
not.
so
But
close.
yes, but they sound similar.
They sound really similar. And to be honest, like, I know exactly who I would want to be my bookie, and it's just my bookie AG.
At MyBookie AG, they say that you can bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. And they mean it. NBA, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, UFC, pro wrestling. But that's not it. Motorsports, golf, tennis, darts, cycling, cricket, handball, floorball, rugby, snooker, volleyball, table tennis, cycling. Yeah, you can bet on it at MyBookie AG. They got the best support system in the business. We only want you to bet what you can, and please bet responsibly. But go take advantage of being able to bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. They got live esports, they got racing, they got everything at MyBookie AG. And right now, get a $50 bonus when you deposit $100 or a $100 bonus when you deposit $200. You can bet with Bitcoin and play their great casino games as well. MyBookie AG.
That's a really fun read from Sean, because he says that at MyBookie you can bet on anything. And we have reviewed a movie in the past where they could bet on anything. And I'm wondering if at MyBookie, can you bet on a dude fucking an alligator? Because if you can't, then you really can't bet on anything. And it's not really the money plane has that. I'm just saying.
That's true, but like, I think that's for the best. And I think MyBookie has our best
It
interest.
probably is for the best that you can't bet on that.
You did get this super chat from Greg Cherry about OTM saying, OTM getting a shot to become champions after clearly losing. Good thing that never happens in college football. F Alabama, go Irish. Well, there you go. Yeah, wait, what had we just been talking about after that? Sorry, refresh my brain. We talked about the tag picture, and then we talked about the speed title, Jasper Troy.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard when you're Jacob Marley this time of year as well, because obviously there's the Muppets Christmas Carol, but and
all other versions of the Christmas Carol. Yeah, true.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, yes, but like,
yeah,
we know what the best one is.
We don't. It's not the Muppets. It's.
Oops, Alex had to go. I'm not going to let him sit here at Christmas lights and pretend like the Muppet Christmas Carol is the best one when Michael Caine gives the performance of a lifetime, as do the Mises, who had no cheeses, and Gonzo as a fantastic narrator. Anyway, I had said a while ago that I felt like NXT was getting very crowded with LFG. Level Up is not called that anymore. What's it called? What's it? Evolve. I forgot what we switched names to. With Evolve, with LFG, with TNA, with the speed title stuff, like, it was getting too crowded, and I feel like they actually thinned it out much better in more recent weeks. But the NXT brand absorbing the speed title, I just don't know if it was the right call, because they could have just kept the Heritage Cup if they wanted something with time on it.
I mean, the other thing about it is that it's because of the nature of who Jasper Troy is that he doesn't get to be on TV doing other things, because what else would you do with him?
Right.
But the women's speed champion is Fallon Henley, who gets to be on TV all the time because the Fatal Influencers are a major part of the programming. And yes, Alpha Bill has it right, and Bitter Old Joe asked it. Alex, just set that alarm to go off every Tuesday, not just to get that 1 sour chat. I can only set it to go off every Tuesday if I set the alarm on Sunday. I can't just be like, set it at 10, then it will go off on Monday. That won't help. That won't help me. So I forgot to turn it off. But that it's very important that I do the thing that I did it. I did it and I did it. So there you go.
Well, I think he was saying, like, is it an instance every week that you have to do that?
No. I mean, it was just a mistake with the it's fine. You don't have to talk
it's
about
all
it.
been resolved. We're doing great.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's fine. So Ricky Saints gets out of the SUV, and Vic says he's got a lot of splaining to do, and I was like, just because you have the haircut of a guy who was in Mad Men doesn't mean you have to make references that are 70 years old. Victor Joseph.
Look, if I was doing commentary with Booker T, I'd be equally as unhinged. Luis, our wonderful moderator, on some nights, loyal patron of the SGS on others, he watches with Spanish commentary because he knows what they're saying in Spanish. That being his first language and the whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like I should also start watching with the Spanish commentary on. I think it'd be a better viewing experience.
Yeah. So Ricky was born to be this version of the character.
That is correct.
he's there is nobody in NXT as debonair as Ricky Saints. And I'm like, yeah, it's just, that's who you are. You're this guy, and it's great. And this character needs to be in wrestling. You perform it very well. This is the kind of character you have to have, a character like this in wrestling. Whether people are like, oh, it's just like, you just like The Rock. Like, yeah, but like that Rock didn't invent that character. Rock played that character a certain way.
What, he's just like 92 Rock, maybe arguably the most successful wrestler to ever have done it ever. Right. Well, yeah, that's not such a bad thing to have that archetype around.
But the way he brings it on, and he's nobody could beat Obafemi, but I did. And yeah, I lost the title back to him, but somebody's taking the title off of him. It's me. It's only me. There's nobody else. Well, there is another guy, but we don't really know where his focus is. We're not really sure where this guy is if he's gonna do something. But we're not talking about him. But he says Javon Evans wanted to jump the line. Technically, he's not jumping the line. He is the number one contender. You just wanted to have your match before him. But I get why you're upset. He gets to be Mark Henry in this promo. You're young. It'll be your time one day. But I did like that he made it personal in a way of like, I've been this great since I was 21, but nobody ever gave me a shot. You know what I mean? I had to wait this long. I'll be damned if I'm going to get jumped. If somebody's going to jump the line in front of me, who's been doing this for not nearly as long as I have. And I get that part too. I mean, he was, I like this. Like, you wanted Oba to lose the title, but you wanted somebody else to be the one to beat him. But that's not how it works. I am that man. And I liked it. This was really well done. And this feud with Javon Evans and Ricky Saints can have the legs to last till the summer because of how great these guys are in the ring and on the mic. And you can do fun stuff to make it to like have their focus pulled elsewhere, make it a long-term feud. But the problem with that is that we need Javon to move past Ricky almost immediately so that Javon can get another shot at Oba, because I don't think that they're going to let Oba stay in NXT for much longer. And I desperately need Javon to be the guy to take the title off of Oba, because if the alternative is like you, like what we did with JC Jane, like that's what it felt like to me at the time, because she was not in a prime position to be somebody who would take the title off of Steph Facaire, and then they just did it, and I was like, okay. And to her credit, she's made it work. But at the time,
they made it the story too. Like
they made it the story.
Yeah.
But please don't just do that again with some other rando.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, you actually have to. You have Javon is perfectly placed to be the guy to send Oba up to the main roster, where he is in the Royal Rumble, eliminates 12 guys. And then one of those guys is Drew McIntyre, and then Drew McIntyre sneaks back into the ring to eliminate Obafemi, and then they brawl to the back, and they brawl from Saudi Arabia all the way back to the States. They do it on a boat. It's pretty amazing. And then they have a match at WrestleMania, and Oba beats Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, and then after that, he says, "Now I demand a shot at all the titles. Just have all the champions that you've got come at me in a gauntlet, and I'll beat all of them." And then they say, okay. And then he does. And then he's the champion of all of the titles until the day he retires.
He's the champion of all the titles till the day he retires. I think my favorite part of that extensive booking plan was they do it on a boat. It's pretty amazing. I love when you just say things.
It would be.
It would be, and they should do it. I'm in full agreement with you on that. So it's interesting because the top of the men's card is in really good shape, and the middle to the bottom of it is not at all. So it is what it is, and I'm excited to see this because I think you're right. I think this is going to be going on for a little bit. With Ricky, man, I genuinely was like, he's really doing well with this face underdog character, and he's got depth to him. And the last work they were doing with him and Obafemi, doubting himself for how did he even beat him and all these things. And then he comes out there tonight and gives this promo, and I'm like, nah, he's this dude though. Same reaction you had about this is Ricky Saints pulling on the flavors of Ricky Starks that we've grown to know and love, and I think has been in his wheelhouse since probably before NWA when I saw him and learned of him. Mm-hmm. Certainly before AEW even. So it just feels like they almost did the test in reverse of well, you got to be a heel and got to be a face. It was we know you've got this heel thing down. Let's just start with you as a face, and then we'll flip it back to what we know and love. And I love this version of him, and I thought he pretty well nailed the other stuff too. But this was awesome. This is the guy that we fell in love with in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Javon Evans makes it to the ring. He shook off the hypothermia that he was suffering from being outside in 65-degree Orlando, Florida, and he dives into the ring to attack Ricky.
Thankfully, there's black hoodies everywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
it's good. Since Eddie Thorpe left, nobody's using that flaming barrel he used to stand in front of. So Javon just stood there and warmed his hands in front of a flaming barrel, which is nice. But anyway, Ricky gets the best of the brawl and does the Rochambeau to Javon Evans through the announce table, and nearly breaks his own shins in the process when the thing collapses onto him. So please be careful with that kind of stuff. When the table collapses outward and just crunches into his shins, I'm like, please don't. That'd be really bad, but he's fine now.
I'm very much looking forward to this because I feel like everybody's in their proper place. Ricky being this version of himself, Javon is one that I'm like, I don't need to see this guy be a heel. He's so great. with where he's at.
How do you make
And,
that guy a heel? Like now,
you could never make me hate him.
Now he's going to ground himself. You know what I mean? Like
in a literal sense, and like how your parents do, both of those things.
Well,
I'm not
both
doing
things.
any high flying moves.
Like like where the heel always grounds the high flyer.
Yeah.
So he's got to do that to him. He's got to put himself in a cravat for like 8 minutes. a nice reverse chin lock while the crowd starts chanting for himself.
Oh man. Nerve holds. That's where it's at.
It's mostly
like
nerve
my
holds.
thing.
He's going to do that thing. I believe Eric Rowan used to do it where he would put 2 fists on the guy's temples and just push in. He's going to do it to himself. He's going to do.
Okay, well now I want to see this. So
I just showed you.
But like I feel like it's the right mix of guys here, and I think they're properly positioned, which is a good sign going into what seems like it's going to be a longer term feud. Mm-hmm. Like Ricky's on the side of things he should be, Javon is, and Oba is in his sweet spot too. So like this is gonna go on for a bit. That's awesome. And I also was thinking about this too, because I was like, man, Javon has an extensive history with Ethan from their trilogy of matches. And I like that he has history with Oba, and now he's starting something with Ricky. Like he's developed rich relationships across like some of the heaviest hitters in the division. So I think they could call him up to SmackDown tomorrow and would be fine. But if he's going to stick around for a little bit, like not bad to have some really well established feuds in the mix with all of this.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Okay, so Ava is talking to Sol Ruca and Zari in the back. And hey, congratulations on beating Bailey. That was pretty impressive or whatever. And here comes Ethan Page. So I got attacked by Tony D'Angelo last week. And then Romeo and Juliet are coming after my mixed tag titles. And worst of all, there's a moose on the loose, which I could tell he really wanted to say. And then Chelsea Green shows up with Alba Fire. And she has, oh my God, it's all kinds of problems. And then Ava gets to be sassy Ava. And be like, I'm going to hold your hand while I say this. Not all of your problems are my fault or whatever. However, there is a problem that's going to be my fault. In 2 weeks, Paige, you're going to face Moose. But next week, Chelsea Green will be you will be defending your U.S. title against Sol Ruca. Why? Because she pinned Bailey on Saturday. I'm sorry. How does that relate to Chelsea Green in any way?
Man, let me tell you about how
it's impressive, and so you might be able to say, oh, she deserves a title shot. However, you need to work into your little promo backstage here is I called Nick Aldis, and he thinks it's a great idea. Because you, Ava, don't get to make a SmackDown title match, even if it's taking place on your show. So she tonight in this scene was like, I'm laying down the law. You're facing this person and you're facing this person defending your title, which I don't even get to book normally, but I'm doing it anyway. But earlier tonight, she was like, Javon, just please come inside. Please. Oh God, whatever.
God, Javon. Here's the thing. With Ava, you don't know what you're getting. Like, that much is clear. But what I also know is that with Aura, you know exactly what you're getting when it comes to Aura frames. Yeah. Because you're going to get a high quality product that is sentimental and easy to give as a gift to your families during the holiday seasons. Okay. You get a gift box for it to be sent in ahead of time. You don't even have to worry about wrapping it or any of that stuff. No, it's ready to be delivered. And you're probably thinking, well, what am I going to give? An empty digital picture frame to people? No, my friends. You can upload your digital assets, your photos and videos preloaded before you give it so that when your family member, loved one, whoever you're giving it to opens it, you're in an incredible spot because it's going to tug right at their heartstrings, but Aura Frames has made it easy as pie to give such a beautiful personalized gift to people in your life. And let me tell you what you get when you use the code FIGHTFUL, okay? Because for a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling carver mat frames. These things are beautiful. Named #1 by Wirecutter. Use the code FIGHTFUL at checkout. That's auraframes.com, AURA frames.com with the promo code FIGHTFUL. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holiday. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. It's a good chunk of change. A good chunk of change, that $35 off, my friend. Not a bad way to go. That's all I'm saying. You want to save a little money? Use somebody else's. Use another Chumps code for something. You want to save a lot of money? Use the code FIGHTFUL at checkout. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ava's really inconsistent. I don't know what to tell you. It is weird because they just are like it. We're back to it feeling like the Manatee Ideal balls from South Park. Like they're just like Chelsea Green is gonna defend her title against Sol Ruka because of Bailey, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense because they're not aligned or even on the same show on a weekly basis, Alex.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Doesn't make sense.
So Kendal Gray and Wren Sinclair face Lainey, Reid, and Fallon Henley with JC Jane on commentary throughout this match. The first thing she does is say that she would rather sit next to Booker T than Vic Joseph's crusty little butt.
I don't want to know how she knows that.
I don't want to know either. Crusty just seems so graphic.
It's very graphic. It's very specific.
Crusty little butt. My goodness.
Crusty little butt.
Wow. Okay. So anyway, the match is good because these four are good wrestlers.
That is true.
And it is a simple placeholder. Because last week they did Javon Evans just won the Iron Survivor, and he's going to get a title match tonight. And by the end of that match, he will have a brand new feud partner to move on to. But Kendal Gray is waiting a month to get her title match. So we have to fill time. So one of the ways we're going to do that is have JC Jane's two friends face Kendal Gray and her friend. And that's one of we just did our only idea for how we'll do a contract signing and a split screen interview and also somehow a face-to-face. The contract signing did not count as a face-to-face. That's another thing. Maybe Kendal Gray will have a one-on-one match along the way against Lainey, Reid, or Fallon Henley with JC Jane again on commentary talking about Vic Joseph's crusty little butt. This is fine. It's a tag match that we knew as soon as we found out Kendal Gray was going to be the one to face JC Jane, we knew this was an inevitability. This would be a match we would definitely see in the next month because they only have so many ideas.
Okay, we knew it was going to be a match in that time period, but what if I told you we also absolutely knew who was going to win it?
Well, okay, true. Yes. Yeah. But I like that Kendal has shown not only the suplexes, but her finisher is that Shades of Grey flatliner. And now she's got a pretty awesome cross arm breaker. And I loved the finish of it with Fallon blocking it and her like kicking her leg, her arm away with her free leg to then just full on lean back into it. And the way Fallon sold it like makes you think.
$1,000,000.
Like if she puts that on JC Jane in the middle of the ring, can JC Jane get out of it? Like she will, of course, because it's WWE NXT booking, but it makes you it puts another thing to it. Like at some point, Kendal Gray is going to hit that flatliner, and JC Jane is going to have her foot put on the rope by Lainey Reid. Another time after that, she's going to put her in that submission, and they'll be in the middle of the ring. And while she's trying to kick the leg away, Fallon Henley's going to get on the ring apron, and the referee is going to be powerless to not walk over and go, "Hey, you get down off the ring apron." No, I'm serious. While behind him, JC Jane is tapping out. And because Kendal Gray hears the tapping on the mat, she thinks she won, so she breaks the hold. Oh, but then, we just know how these matches are agented because they're agented the same way every friggin' time. And I kind of want to see Kendal Gray break out of that and have a different kind of match, but I don't think we'll be so lucky.
Yeah, she just won't be able to put on the armbar in the middle of the ring. It'll be near the ropes, right? Like it is one of those, but she's the real deal, man. Like every time we see her, she is doing something very impressive. Mm-hmm. Like she does something memorable every time that she's on screen. And our social media team, actually, Kyler was saying like she's got a better worked armbar than Ronda Rousey did. Because Ronda Rousey's shoot armbar was great. Her worked one was not as great. Mm-hmm. She looks really, really good. She looks really, really good. I like that this is so funny because it seems this way on the main roster too. Like it's just an easier time with the women as far as like Lainey Reid looked great. So we absorbed her into this faction that's at the top of the card. Wren is very character heavy. Kendal is great to unevolve. What if we put them together in this fun side shoot faction idea? And then with the men, it's like Shawn Legacy, you get a title shot and nothing else, and then you go away. It's that way on the main roster too. Like there's just a better mix of usage for women's talent up there.
Yeah.
Well, very odd. Very odd. But I'm not complaining because I love women's wrestling and I like seeing this. Mm-hmm. So there you go. In
the back, Thea Hale. This is where they spent an hour and a half figuring out what to do about this, and this was what they came up with. Thea Hale gets interviewed, and she's still crazy excited about winning her title. She
won.
Since she won the title, she injected straight espresso into all of her veins. And
the adrenaline has not worn off 90 minutes later. It's powerful stuff.
So Jordynne Grace walks up and she finally calms down from talking a mile a minute. And she says, "Hey, congrats, Thea. Looks like you figured it out before I could." And Thea's like, "Oh no, Jordynne, hey, great. No, listen, all you gotta do is be positive. I was positive, and look what happened. You just gotta stay positive." And then Blake Monroe shows up, and she's like, "I don't know where they found that referee, but he should be fired for his actions. That is my title. It's my baby. I want it back. I want my rematch." And Jordynne Grace says, "Give her a break. She's been champion for all of 30 minutes. Go lick your wounds someplace else." And Blake was like, "I'll get my rematch. Enjoy your muscle muffin," she says to Thea Hale, who then hugs Jordynne Grace, and Jordynne Grace does not like to be touched.
Yes.
That's about it.
Honestly, considering, I thought everybody did a pretty good job, especially Blake. Like she, that's got to be a very disorienting thing to have happen. Mm-hmm. And she's just like such a consummate performer. Like she reacted on very little notice how Blake Monroe would have reacted. And I give her a lot of credit for that. Thea was Thea. Mm-hmm. And I I don't know about like downtrodden Grace. Like I don't know about that. I'm still not buying like that
I
she
just
has a
don't.
hard time getting a win around this
I know,
place.
just like I guess I'm terrible at wrestling. And I'm like, no, you're not. I've watched you wrestle. You're really good. You like at worst the second best women's match in WWE was won by Jordan Grace this year. That
Yeah,
match between her and Julia on
Julie was
TV,
insane.
that's probably my match of the year. I've people say it's like maybe third behind these other matches. I'm like, okay, fine, I won't quibble, but everyone can agree it's a top 5 or 6. It was so good. And
Sure.
like the idea that like I'm terrible at wrestling now. And I just don't buy it. I just don't buy that being her character.
I don't buy a bigger character too, like well, one, she just doesn't come across as Eeyore to me. Like she's not that doesn't work for her. And I
Good
think I said this
morning. If it is a good morning, which I doubt.
that's how she like I said this last week and it becomes clearer to me and I appreciate it. But they don't want dominant women and I would say wrestlers in general. I think this is true for the men too. They don't want them to be one dimensional, so they give them these other character traits like Zarya having a sense of humor with Sol Ruka initially and then having like this kind of softer side with her and stuff. With Jordan, it's vulnerability, quite obviously. And so I appreciate what they're going for, but it also has to fit and suit the performer. And I just don't think that's the case with Jordan. I feel like you have such a layup in just letting her be who she is. And that's not to say that she as a woman doesn't like experience these things in the world, but like her as a wrestler, I don't think she's been bad at wrestling for a very, very long time, Alex. Like, I don't even know if she was ever bad at it. I don't know how she took to training, but since I've been following her career, literally at all, she's been great. So,
Yeah.
I appreciate the intent of what they're going for, I think. But I feel like they're just missing the mark with this for sure.
Yeah. I also agree. By the way, part of the weird Izzy Dame scene in the locker room is Lola and Kalani beginning what
Yes.
I believe will be a tag team.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that yet.
I mean, that's what I think it's going to wind up being. It's not that yet, but I think that's where they're going with it because it's she comes in and she's like, Kalani's putting her stuff in the locker and it's like, hi, I'm putting my stuff back. I don't remember how it was you who led the charge to get me evicted the last time. And Lola's like, well, it's going to take more than gymnastics to make an impact in this room. And then Kalani says, oh, yeah? What about you and your MMA? As it fades away and they cut to another. They're in the middle of like an argument about who does what thing better and how that. So like, it's like basically like MMA, gymnastics, both. I don't know. Maybe if we use your MMA and my gymnastics, we can make a good team. That's honestly what I feel like it's going to wind up. The problem is it's going to take 2.5 months to get there after they face each other a couple of times and they realize, we're better together than we were apart. Like it's possible that Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice win the Lady Dusty this year. If they do a Lady Dusty, remember this on December 16th, 2025. They're going to win the Lady Dusty in 2026.
Lady Dusty. So I will say, like, Kalani sounds much more human with this heel character. I still don't buy that she's bitchy. Like, I think there's a lot of ways you can make Kalani heelish, but I just don't buy that she's like a bitch. But she sounds much more human in her delivery backstage. I feel like in the battle, no offense to gymnastics, but in a battle between like someone really great at MMA and someone really great at gymnastics. Like the MMA person wins because it's a combat sport. So, not to say that you can't start from one and be great at the other, but I think if you're talking about winning a match, the MMA gal wins, which I don't think is how this is going to go. But I'm glad, like, Lola, even today, man, they were like, go out there and say Hispanic things. Like, come on, man. Like, let's give her some more depth. So I'm hoping this brings the fight out of her a little bit, because we just have seen her being a gal a lot. So I just don't I'm waiting for Kalani's next layers to kind of be revealed in that sense, because I don't think this attitude works for her, but I feel like she seems much more comfortable in the heel side of things.
Yeah, agreed. So Shiloh Hill doesn't talk about the fog this week. Again,
I'm talking about the fog, Alex.
He's sitting there talking to Skylar Ray. It was more.
Is her name Skylar Fogg?
No, her name is Skylar Ray. Her name is Skylar Ray. He says that beating Lexus King last week was more fun than chasing raccoons. Listen, I'm done with your whole thing of small rodents that live in the woods. Talk to me about the fog, Shiloh. What of the fog?
I felt like you were gonna go in hard talking about the fog, so I wanted to give you like the solo spotlight frame.
No, don't do that. That was weird.
Okay, well I won't. It seemed like you were gearing up.
I thought you had left, and I was scared.
Oh,
I was scared that you had left.
I'm right here.
Okay, good.
I'll do it then. F it. We were promised information. We were promised information.
That's the problem. We weren't promised. We should have been promised.
It was implied. You bring up the fog a couple times. It was implied that we were going to learn about the fog and what it was and why it's so necessary to be avoided, that you would move from your whole abode. Okay? Why am I running out of town because of the fog? Is it fog from a nuclear power plant? So don't come on here and like have a fun little back and forth with Skylar Ray. And like, oh, we're going to set up, but you owe me answers before you step foot back in that ring. Shiloh.
Mm-hmm.
Fit not the dog. Do you remember the book about the dog, Shiloh?
No.
Really?
It's
an American classic.
Oh, okay.
Shiloh?
You
never read Shiloh?
Is it called Shiloh?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. I mean, isn't there a dog in Where the Red Fern Grows?
No, there's a book called Shiloh.
Don't know it.
You know what the book isn't about? Explaining what the fog is.
Yeah, if there is a book explaining what the fog is, I'll read that book. I will go to my local library and check it out tomorrow.
He should pen that book and do a signing at Barnes and Noble, and I will attend and go.
He should do that.
I don't give this is no offense to Skylar Ray. I'm sure like she's gonna be great. She doesn't from an interest standpoint, pales in comparison to my interest in the fog. Sorry. That's not on her. I'm more interested in the fog than most things in life.
Yeah.
So
anyway, Stax and Ariana Venti show up, and they're very angry because they were going to get a triple A mixed tag team title match, but Moose had to show up. There's Moose, and then Shiloh says, "That's odd. They usually don't migrate this far south." Because it's Moose. Are you stupid or something? Why don't you fix your teeth? Skylar Ray says, you need to go to couples therapy, and let's have a mixed tag match next week for some reason. So on the Christmas episode of NXT, which will be taped tomorrow, we're going to watch Shiloh Hill hopefully beat the fog out of Stax.
We can only hope.
Ooh, does Shiloh have any submission moves?
I
Because
don't know. That's an SBC question.
maybe he could like John Cena. Maybe he could make Stacks tap out like a little bee. Joe Test last night. Joe Test last night refusing to say "little bitch," so he would just every time he quoted Gunther, he would say, "He said that John Cena tapped out like a little bee," and every time he said "little bee," this is what I pictured in my head. This is
that's an adorable way to tap out.
This is saved in my computer as John Cena. John Cena is a little bee.
We need to get little jorts for it.
He needs little jorts, or at least a little wristbands, little armbands on the wings.
A little hat.
A little baseball cap.
I didn't know. I was like, it's either going to be the cutest little bee you ever saw, which is what it was, or I was like, it's going to be just a lowercase letter B. I didn't know which way that was.
No, it's a little bee. It's a little tiny bee.
How cute. I also find it funny that Joe Test said that because Gunther said bitch, which means you could say it on television.
Yeah, but he refused because it would be so mean to John Cena to say little bitch.
Well, I mean, they did kick Gunther out for winning a match, right? So
yeah.
Nerve.
So anyway, okay. So we get like it's next. We're gonna do another, and our show, our big main event is next. Then a segment, then another segment, then Vic running down the matches for next week, then another commercial, and then they actually do like, come on. The Fatal 4-Way is very good. And I'm watching Dion Lennox and Myles Borne be athletic powerhouses, watching Joe Hendry be Joe Hendry. And then I'm watching Leon Slater selling a knee and doing big spots. And I was like, they're not gonna. Holy shit, I think they might. And so about halfway through the match, I'm straight up rooting for Leon Slater. Straight up because I think that's the best possible match that we could do with
out of this group for sure, yeah.
Yeah, out of these four guys. I still thought it was possible Tony D showed up and ruined the whole thing and said, whatever's happening, I'm going to be a part of this. But he didn't. He showed up later to do nothing. I was scared to death it was going to be Joe Hendry. Knew it wasn't going to be Myles Borne, and thought it was probably going to be Dion Lennox going into the match. Because they've set up this whole thing. Dion wants a shot at Oba because of perceived Oba Femi slight. I think that Dion could prove a lot of really cool stuff in a match with a guy the size of Oba. I think Dion's really strong, deceptively strong, and him lifting up Oba and doing stuff to him would look really cool. It'd be a way to announce. They seem to want him to be the top guy in Dork State, even though Saquon Sugars is there. So prove it to me. Put him in a match with Oba Femi and prove it to me that he should be the top guy in Dork State. So I thought they were going to do that. But once Leon started doing all these hope spots and big things that he was doing and selling the knee throughout, I was just like, yeah, screw it. I just want to see the best possible match you can give me.
Sure.
And that's Leon Slater versus Oba Femi. And so Joe Hendry and Dion Lennox ended up like brawling up the ramp so they couldn't get involved, and they left Myles Borne just sitting there after having been taking a big move from Joe Hendry, and then Dion Lennox pulled Joe Hendry out of the ring as he was going for the pinfall. And so Leon Slater hops up onto the top rope and does his 450 swanton and pins Myles Borne, and we get that match. And this is kind of cool because also he's never winning it. But it's got this thing with Javon Evans rooting for his best friend to get the title that he should be getting. But I still think it's going to be is Javon Evans going to be turned into a bad guy because he's jealous? Like Ricky, it's going to draw a distinction in the storytelling between Ricky, who couldn't, because he and Javon had been really friendly. He couldn't just root for his friend to become champion. It had to be him. I have to be the one to do it. So to contrast that, in that feud, you show Javon being ultra supportive of Leon Slater. And Leon's going to lose, but maybe he loses so badly, like Oba just destroys him, and maybe that gives Javon extra motivation to try and beat Oba for the title on top of all the other stuff. You hurt my friend. Now that is weird because Leon's a title holder in TNA, but let's be honest, WWE doesn't care about TNA at all. So they just want to poach all of their best talent, as evidenced by the fact that they are giving Leon Slater an out of the blue NXT world title shot. There should be just a big chyron underneath saying that the latest contract offer for Leon Slater, just underneath, 4 years at $2.5 million a year.
Sorry, I got something on my glasses. I thought the match was very good. I thought this was probably the best Dion Lennox has looked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the one thing I'll say is, like, when this group was walking him out to the ring, their personality was cool, cocky, arrogant, ready for battle, whatever. When they arrived, they were murderers. It's somewhere between they were also goofballs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to need, like, clarity around who is in what role and who these guys are. Because, like, I'm in on at least two of them. So, like, I would really like for them to figure it out, because I understand not everything clicks right away, but they have not consistently tried in one direction, and that ain't on the performers. That is on them. Outside of that, match was really good. The injury angle was really well done. Like, Leon Slater can sell an in-ring injury pretty damn well for a 21-year-old.
The thing we were talking about with that Matt, when that unfortunate thing happened with AJ on the ropes, and how quickly he thought on his feet to get in there for a pinfall. So he and AJ had 3.5 seconds to discuss into each other's ears what the next step was going to be, and it turned out really well. Like, and that's what's going to happen if you start training wrestling at 10 years old and you're now 21 years old. You're an 11-year veteran. You know what the hell you're doing. So him selling that stuff is a veteran selling the knee, knowing exactly how to land on it, how to do stuff. Man, he's so great, and I'm really excited to see him with Oba Femi. And listen, the thing is, like, they're making it so obvious about how badly they want to sign him and everything. And if they're actually going to sign him and really use him, I hope they do. WWE, as long as I'm going to continue to be paid to watch it, I want it to be good. And Leon Slater's a really good wrestler, and I enjoy his work. So if he's at a prominent spot somewhere in WWE, and I get to watch him have wrestling matches, then selfishly, that's good.
Sure. So if you don't watch UK wrestling, people starting there at like 10, 11, 12 years old is not unheard of the same way it is in the US. Like, it is like an after school activity. It's very, 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 very different. Also, I think you were trying to cover your lights because one of them is like glaring, like an astigmatism.
Super, super blindingly.
But it's just Christmas cheer, so
it's just Christmas cheer. It's all it is.
That somehow made it a laser show, but it's in the other direction, so that's very fun. He's great. If you're Joe Hendry, if I was Joe Hendry, I would be wondering what's going on because they were courting this guy so hard. He finally signed there, and now the X Division champion of TNA is leapfrogging him for title shots. Is kind of nuts.
I mean,
but it is what it is.
He's a lovable goofball who's gonna beat the Miz. That's his thing. I'm sorry if you thought you were gonna be a world champion in WWE, Joe Hendry. I apologize to you if that's what they led you to believe, but that is absolutely not your role here.
Lovable goofball is my thing, so he better step off.
Yeah.
I might beat the Miz, you don't know. Because Joe Hendry's the nature of his character is something you should ride momentum of. I've been surprised by the way that he's been booked. Because he was white hot for a minute, and now it feels like the crowd, like, they play along, but they didn't like erupt when he came out or anything.
Yeah.
So it's a little tricky on that one, but I'm very excited for Leon. And while it feels like it's kind of out of left field, I had the same thought you did about like what the implications of his friendship with Javon Evans makes this much more interesting to me now. So I'm very into it. Match was very, very good. And I am looking forward to what Oban and Leon Slater can do.
The next time that WWE does a big pay-per-view in Scotland, Joe Hendry to win the tag titles with R-Truth.
Oh, I was going to say returning to WWE, Chris Jericho would probably be.
No.
You, Joe?
No.
You, Joe Hendry? You don't think?
No. But I absolutely believe that they could eat. They're going to have Joe Hendry find a way to rap his theme song as part of the What's Up rap.
Yes, they will.
I
have a Humper chat here to read that doesn't really fit into anything else that we're talking about.
Then do that.
Yeah. No, Greg Terry says, a fun bit of John Cena trivia that I teased on Friday's SmackDown post show. Battle Royals. Oh, excluding Battle Royals. Who is the only WWE superstar to never lose to John Cena but have multiple victories around him? Shane McMahon. Greg Cherry's favorite dude.
Wow.
He thinks he's the best in the world. He's the only Shane McMahon stan that I know, and I respect that.
Actually, somehow my wife is a Shane McMahon stan.
Really?
I don't know. She was talking about when Stephanie was on TV all the time, and she was like, she looks familiar because she boys that she would date in high school watched wrestling or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, it's Stephanie McMahon. Whatever happened to her brother? I always liked him, and that's all I got out of it. But apparently, she was like a Stephanie McMahon stan.
I like it.
I also
like the way that was said, as if like, whatever. I always liked him, like it was the next door neighbor's kid.
No, yeah.
I always liked that boy. He was so sweet.
Yeah. Anyway, I had explained he left the business, then he came back and he made the Royal Rumble all about himself, and he left, and then he came back and then he tore both of his quads, and he really doesn't seem to want to get back in the business anymore. And anyway, the final thing that happens is Oba comes out shirtless with his giant necklace on to intimidate Leon Slater. And above him in the back of the crowd is Tony D'Angelo. So look, tomorrow they are taping both the December 23rd episode and the December 30th episode. And the next episode that is live is New Year's Evil. So there's a very good chance we don't get anything from Tony D on the next two taped episodes that like explain what he's been doing or why he's doing it. I think there's a very good chance that however he's going to affect that New Year's Evil, he just shows up and does it. And then maybe on January 13th, we finally get some kind of indication of what the hell Tony D is up to. And that's far too... Everyone was super excited. A week ago plus 10 days ago, when he showed up, like, he's different now. He seems to be coming after the world title. And then on the following Tuesday, he seemed to be coming after the North American title. And then he's not coming after the North American title anymore. He's just keeping an eye on Obafemi. And our interest in him is actually waning, because you have to strike like, big return. What's this guy's deal? And the longer it goes before you tell us what his deal is, nobody's going to give a shit anymore.
Well, especially when he's showing up for, like, whoever he feels like each week. Like, that's the part that makes my interest wane a little bit. But I am also, like, because it's Tony D'Angelo, I am intrigued. I'll put it that way. Like, I
know I am, but what I'm talking about, I'm like, you know, the global fan, you know what I mean? Like, the people who watch your shows that aren't us, because we're Tony D stans, are gonna be like, hey, I remember that guy. And then after a while, it's like, oh yeah, whatever happened with that? I missed 2 weeks watching because I had stuff I had to do. And now it just kind of went out of my brain.
It's also, in some ways, just, like, honestly, an unfortunate time of year for him to come back because of the double taping. like you're not going to ever do anything of incredible.
He's going to turn up in the crowd during the speed match, and then he's going to watch one of Maxine's matches. Like, we don't know what he's doing now. What's he going to do?
I'd be very interested to see him and Maxine. Like, Tony D breaks into the dungeon where they've been filming all these vignettes. I'm here for that. Going after Jade Cargill, let's do it. Like, let's just Tony D'Angelo just lurking. I'm here for. I'm here for.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I hope they get it in gear soon, because I do want it to be successful, because I really like everybody involved in it.
So here we go. Meet Norma says, Saturday I set a venue record for bacon wrapped scallops.
Let's go.
Eating them or making them?
Both?
If both. I mean, if you make them all for yourself, or was like we had a big shindig on Friday evening, and of course I was in charge of all of the food. So I just made, like, plates and plates of different kinds of appetizers and dips and stuff. And it was one of those things, like, the thing that I wanted the most, that I wanted to eat the most. When I finally got around to going to, it's all gone, because it was the best thing. So
that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, Alex.
Oh, he says that grievances were aired. I can still out wrestle my cousins. Let's crank. Wrestling cousins.
I'm gonna need to know more about that immediately.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, okay. We caffeinated puns, stimulant puns, with the caveat that if I think we should not read it on air, then I'll just put it on the screen. And to start with, Glenn Jacobs. Rafael Garcia says orange carouche.
Very nice.
Carouche.
Very nice.
Mountain Drew McIntyre from Chris Pereira. Very good. Chris Pereira. Sierra Mystico, which I do believe Sierra Mist is uncaffeinated, but it does have a lot of sugar, so it counts.
I'll take it. I'm counting it.
There's one in that I'm not going to read, even though it's really good. I can't read that out loud, because I told you guys what I wasn't going to read. You guys said, "Oh, let's do things about things that we're not supposed to say on TV."
Some of you said in things we're not supposed to say.
Penta El Cerro, something else. Matt Riddlin, Caffeine Dupree, Colombian Bam Bam Bigelow tea, Macchiato Bafemi,
Very
Cup
nice.
of Samoa Joe, Nation of Caffeination, Big Josh.
Legend.
Is that the wine? Josh wine? What is Big Josh?
Yeah,
Is
I
it
think
caffeinated?
people are just under the influence. I don't know if these are all things that hype
I
you
think
up.
that could be. Snowba Femi, Base Austin, and another thing I can't say, Louisville. Thank you. Meet Normus says G Roy J wanted to put in Four Loco Zuna and Samoa blow your nose. Four Loco was an amazing thing because they had to outlaw it. Because it was like there's too much alcohol and too much caffeine in this. You're gonna die.
Yeah. They're like, your heart's just gonna stop.
I remember going to like the convenience store before, like during a pregame, before going to parties, and a dude just walking up to the thing, opening up the thing, and just Four Locos, just taking them all. And I'm like, I don't want to be around you in 3 hours.
That's gonna be terrible.
C. Delgado says Dr. Pepper of Thugonomics, Al Snow, Techo 5, Techo 5, our energy drink. It's supposed to be Techno.
Probably like Techno Team 5-hour energy drink.
I don't know, but Techno Team. J White Lines, Happy Gold Dust. And blow your nose key.
You guys are right on the line.
Lieutenant Photos says Rockstar Dust. And Red Bull E-Ray.
Very nice.
Chris Pereira says Midnight Espresso. Not Midnight Express. Jolt Cola Banana. Jolt Cola Banana.
Jolt
Cola, man, that takes me back. Greg Cherry says G Fula McGillicuddy, Cocoa Bean Ware, Splash Mountain Dew, Dr. Britt Pepper, Amphetamina Shirakawa, Techno T 2000 Lovians. We love you too, Greg Cherry.
Thank you, Greg.
Chris Pereira says Carmelo Yellow. Orion Ben says Zap Zap. Orange Sliced Bread. Nation of Confection.
Nice.
Meet Enormous member for 55 months. Wow. Says Big Java Pump. The Starbucks. Super Drip Party. Mick Folgers, Decaf Crusher, French Press Slam, Samoka Joe, Latte Mellow, and the writers of a certain type of substance. See here. Blake Mon Blow Your Nose, C2 Energy, and Tony Cott. Not sure. Mike Shut, thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Spidey Boy says Espresso Joe, Cold Brew McIntyre, Britalin Baker, and my favorite, the Unified Champion Kombuchaka Okada.
That's really good.
To that from Mayhem says Mean Bean Okerlund. Luchai-saurus.
Chai. Very
and
nice.
Not Dave Batista, but Dave Barista, who of course making
the animal Dave Barista.
Chris Perez says Nabob Holly. Nabob? I'm afraid I don't know what Nabob is.
I don't either.
That's
so
good.
One of these hip youth terms that the youth are using for drugs.
I don't know. Silver Apocalypse says Mark and Joe Coffee. Amphetamina Sirikawa. Bronson, that's not a stimulant at all.
Yeah,
Chris
that's
Geritol and nicotine Nemeth. It's very addictive. And this one I think has my favorite in it. Jitter Juice Robinson and not Maki Ito, but Macchiato.
That's quite good.
And then Pac Cola. Pac Cola.
Cola.
Very good. Cola. Oh, here we go. So Apocalypse says Miss Kotfab and Kotfabe and the Riddleinder.
Love the
Chris Amplander. Amp. That takes me back to my crazy
Amp. Oh my gosh.
Alan Jeanette says probably too obvious. Cup of Joe Hendry. Not obvious because nobody else did it.
That was all you. Well done.
The Coffee Roasters Conglomeration from Alan Jeanette.
Very nice.
Tom LaValle says Espresso Ruka.
Nice. Cody's
former character, Starbucks.
You got to do the Starbucks.
Well, actually, no. His was this thing, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're doing Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, no, I'm TDP.
This is Starbucks. This is Starbucks.
Yeah, the gloves.
Meet Normus says a Big Show burn notice review. Cousin Mike is in. No, we're probably gonna listen. We were gonna do the Nikki Bella movie, but the Nikki Bella movie isn't a movie; it's a trailer. So looks like
don't get me started about that.
Looks like we're doing Santa's Sleigh, starring Bill Goldberg. And I've told Kate it's not that scary. It's not scary at all. Just has some violence in it. It's not scary at all. It will not give you nightmares. You can watch the bloody parts through your fingers.
I made it through Chopping Mall.
You can make it through this. You can. So it looks like that's what we're going to review before Christmas. We'll set a lot of time.
It unfortunately is not Santa's sleigh girl.
No,
it's not one of those.
He slays other things.
Which I would honestly, my version, to see Goldberg in that all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Do you have? You have a duet with me, but I don't think you have any by yourself. Oh no, we have this other giant one. Okay, hold on. Let me get rid of all these puns out of the way so I can look at all these things. So I can find where the deals are.
It's karaoke time.
It's karaoke time. We'll start with this one because it's really easy. Cito Gatto wants Linda to sing Santa Baby. I think we get this request every year.
As we should, as God intended.
Of course. Hold on. Let me look up the lyrics here. I used to have them memorized. Okay. Let's see here. Santa Baby lyrics. Hold on. It's Googling. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to step away for 1 second.
You do that while I sing. Yeah,
Please
do that. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, hello, Dusty. How are you? You're looking fine as ever. Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa Dusty, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa Dusty, a 54 convertible too, light blue. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa Dusty, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Think of all the fun I've missed. Think of all the fellas that I haven't kissed. Next year, I could be just as good if you check off my Christmas list. Boo boo be doo. Santa baby, Santa Dusty. It's you. I want a yacht, and really, that's not a lot. Been an angel all year, Santa Dusty. So hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa Dusty, one little thing I really need, the deed to a platinum mine. Santa Dusty, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa Dusty, and fill my stocking with a duplex and checks.
And checks,
Find your
baby.
ex online, Santa Dusty, and hurry down the chimney tonight. There you go.
That was so beautiful. I wanted to be on the screen for it.
I believe this is the first time that Linda and the ghost of Dusty Rhodes have interacted.
I believe that's true. I heard a lot about you. I needed to.
Well, I should hope so. We had a fling in 1982.
You're like a new woman to me. As I am now on the other side. But I was just glad to hear someone
see that I did not
something.
make as big of an impact. Not much
I
of a
will never forget our tour de fair.
I thought that my TNA would make an impact on you, Dusty.
Well, listen,
but I see that is not true.
Hard times together, you and I did. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Your times were not always so hard, Dustin.
Whoa, my time was then. Okay, my time was not now. I was just glad to come by karaoke. I thought I would extend an olive branch during this time. But it was just nice to hear someone singing something. I thought with John Cena being gone, maybe you would sing a classic do, as you've been prone to do in the past. But I see that I have offended you.
Linda left. She's just gone. I don't know what to tell you.
What was going on?
I have no idea. You left and then you came back.
Weird.
I don't know what's going on.
I had to situate the dog. That got weird.
Oh, okay. What else we got here? Paul Popolowski give his history of the fog.
I would also like to know the history of the fog.
So the fog rolls in occasionally, and when the fog rolls in, the first thing you've got to do is, if you've got children in the house, wake them up and get them on a snowmobile and at least 100 miles. I don't care if it's summertime. It's gotta go on a snowmobile, and 100 miles at the very least. If one of them can get way out in front of the pack and then lose his way and have to bury himself in twigs to live through the night, chances are, at the end of it, he's going to become a very successful college football player, although he will lose a tooth. So that's why when he's going to meet the Undertaker, and also he's going to become very friendly with an AI in his computer. But also the fog is indeterminate, and we don't know where the fog is or where it's coming from. But if the fog does roll in, again, the first most important thing to do is, if you've got children, wake them up, for God's sake, and put them on a snowmobile and get them out of town.
What is this guy talking about? I don't know. That got weird.
I don't believe I've met your roommate. Who's this?
This is Miss Kate Felt. Hello.
Hello. It's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Papa.
All right. Well, I've got to go because Jello, but we'll see you around.
Do I get Jello? No, you don't get Jello. Ugh.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I gotta snag this guy over here.
Alexi.
Hello, it is me, Lexi. I'm here.
Lexi!
So the Puppet Pals to sing Scrooge from Muppet Christmas Carol.
I love that movie.
It's not all it's cracked up to be, because it's the first movie after Jim Henson died, and so Kermit sounds wrong. It's really actually quite tragic.
It's sad, but it's beautiful.
I mean, I guess if you like rats, because the rat has a big part in it.
No Jesus for Rasmuses. There goes Mr. Humbug. There goes Mr. Scrooge.
Sorry. This
That's
this
okay.
guy next to me had to Google with one finger.
Usually we do a Blue Chew ad read for things like that.
Oh, okay, here we go. So, how do you want to start, and then I will come in later, or how we want to do this?
I'll start, and then you do the second one, and we'll both do the refrain.
Okay.
When a cold wind blows, it chills you to the bone. Chills you to the bone. But there's nothing in nature that freezes your heart like years of being alone.
It paints you with indifference, like a lady paints with rouge. And the worst of the worst, the most hated and cursed, is the one that we all call Scrooge. Unkind as any, and the wrath of many, this is Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh, there goes
There goes
Mr.
Mr.
Humbug.
Humbug. There goes Mr. Grimm.
If they gave a prize for being mean,
The winner would be him,
oh, Scroogey loves his money.
because he thinks it gives him power.
If he became a flavor, you can bet he would be sour. Is it? Because that's the name of the show.
Sour Craps. Bye-bye.
Oh, great. Look, there's something else.
It is very honestly jarring to do that to a puppet. It feels very invasive.
Oh, look, the song gets to continue, but somebody else is going to sing it.
Oh, let's go.
There goes Mr. Skinflint. There goes Mr. Greed, the undisputed master of the underhanded deed. He charges folks a fortune for his dark and drafty houses, as poor folk live in misery is even worse for mouses. He must be so lonely, he must be so sad. He goes to extremes to convince us that he's bad. He's really a victim of fear and of pride. Look close and there must be a sweet man inside. Nah. There goes Mr. Outrage. There goes Mr. Sneer. He has no time for friends or fun, baby. His anger makes that clear. Don't ask him for a favor, cause his nastiness increases. No crust of bread for those in need. No cheeses for us Mises. There goes Mr. Heartless. There goes Mr. Cruel. He never gives, he only takes. He lets his hunger rule. If being means a way of life you practice and rehearse, then all that work is paying off, because Scrooge is getting worse. Every day, in every way, baby. Scrooge is getting worse.
Sad.
That Teenager Mayhem wants me to sing Santa Lost a Hoe by the Christmas Jug Band.
My goodness. You sound much more like yourself. I think there was an imposter on here before.
That happens a lot. It's King Kong Bundy. He thinks he gets a good impression of me. He doesn't.
Oh,
He always
he
sneaks in
doesn't,
here
and he doesn't know your backstory either.
He has no idea what's going on. I just hope that whatever he said to Linda did not upset her too much, because he does not understand the lore that this show has created.
I would hope he didn't just completely blank on that for some reason. That would be out of turn.
That would be crazy. Santa Lost a Hoe by Christmas Jug Band. I was not aware that Santa had hoes. I guess just another
Yes,
one.
at least 3 of them, right?
Just another one for Stokely Hathaway to look up to as somebody who has hoes, who is not. So hold on. Lyrics. There we go. Santa used to like to chuckle. He's always been a belly full of laughs. Sitting in his Santa Claus chair, baby. Posing for the photographs. But now he don't laugh so much. In fact, about 1/3 less. Old Saint Nick got a problem, man. He's in an awful mess, baby. Because he used to go ho, ho, ho. Now he's only going ho, ho. Uh-oh, where'd the other ho go? I don't know. But Santa's feeling mighty low. He used to do hidey ho. Now he's only doing hidey. Oh, where'd the other ho go? I don't know. Santa lost a ho, baby. Now Santa's been doing his best to get into Christmas mood, keeping his little elves happy. He's the #1 Christmas dude, daddy. But there ain't no joy, because just one toy is missing from Santa's shack. He never had a doll go AWOL once he got her in the sack. Baby, mama, daddy. Because he used to go ho, ho, ho. Now he's only going ho, ho. Oh, where'd the other ho go? I don't know. But Santa's feeling mighty low. That's hard times. Anytime you lose a ho, that is hard times.
I would imagine so.
That's right. Okay, well, I think that's every. Oh, hold on. Well, I think that's everything. But there's one more person who needs to show up, and I'm not sure how this is going to work, but we're gonna find out. There we go. Hello,
Ricky.
So for the Christmas season, I decided to grow my hair out of the top of a Santa hat. It's festive.
I think it's beautiful, and I also love your fashion. I think if Alex were here, he would too.
Yeah. Well, everyone should, because I'm so festive. All right.
It's a
Well, I'm
beautiful
going to sing a song
This is a very festive song. I'm glad that I got requested.
by Eric Clapton. It is a song about snow. So it is a Christmas song. In the same way that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, this song by Eric Clapton is a Christmas song because it is about snow. So, as it is about snow, I will be replacing every word of the original title of the song with the word snow. Let us go. If you want to hang out, you've got to take her out, snow. If you want to get down on the ground, snow. She don't lie, she don't lie, she don't lie, snow. If you got bad news, you want to kick them blues, snow. When your day is done and you want to run, snow. She don't lie, she don't lie, she don't lie, snow. And if your day's gone and you want to ride on, snow. Don't forget this fact, you can't get it back, snow. She don't lie, she don't lie, she don't lie, snow. She don't lie, she don't lie, she don't lie, booger sugar. I feel like I saved us from being demonetized.
I feel like you did. Alex did it earlier. He did a great job of it, and you kept that going until right at the end. It's appreciated.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Ricky. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Next week, I'll have it on good authority that during the NXT review, that Dusty is going to read The Night Before Christmas. So everyone will have to tune in to watch Dusty read The Night Before Christmas, because it will actually be the night before Christmas, but no one's doing a podcast on Christmas Eve.
No, of course
That
not.
would be silly.
That would be. We would never do something so silly.
Yeah. Right. Well, until next time, keep cool, gabagoos.
Toodles.